Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Constant Brooks, and this episode we'll talk about, being on the night shift and such. And, you know, it's one of those things that I never thought I would do, but that's the thing about life. To achieve your goals, you have to, certain things that you never thought you would do, you put in a position and then you have to try to think about if it's important to do or not. I think, and why I say you have to think about it because there's a lot of wrong way of doing things as well. I don't want to actually say, okay, because I have to do this, I want to go the wrong way. Nah, nah, nah. But what happens is that there are certain things that, you know, in this reality, it's not the ideal thing. But what happens is that, we're, we're just starting. That's one thing that you have to realize as well, the perspective and such. You can't compare your chapter one, as I said in a previous episode, to a person's chapter 20. And what happens is that you can't look at every businesses and every company the same. Every business is in the field to make money, and they have to actually do the business model that works for them to actually achieve the goals that they set for them. Because if they don't do the best business model, they won't last long. You know, and for example, the place that I'm working now has been there since 1997, and when I went there, I did not think it was the best still or such. So put that in perspective is the fact that it has been there for a while. And I went there and I thought, I did not really like it as such like that. But come I could tell, but from I well, I can't tell, but I would be sure that from because from I went there, there have been actually upgrades as well that actually made the quality of the work better for me. So I know that compared to when it started to where it is now, it is a huge upgrade. And what they had to do was different business model to actually get one of the things to where it is. So back again with I said, for example, business of science and such like that. When it's starting, you never know, or you never know what even when it gets big, night shift could be a part of it as well. Where what I realize is that, for example, there's certain time in the night, when I go going to university or whenever I was at a certain place where I wish that places were open, certain supermarket as such were open a certain time of the night, so that I could actually get buy food or such like that. But if every business was like me and be like, okay, I would never do night shift, that would never happen. So you'd have to actually be, but then it, you would have to be accustomed to, okay, you have to get the thing in the day because in the night you never get it. And in the industrial part of my life, I was expecting that because going out in the night was not a thing. That was time for you to go home. But what happens is that when you become an adult now, your needs becomes large. Like for example, you are supporting yourself, your health and everything. So while going out working in the night can be compromising in your health because you're actually losing schedule sleep time. You're used to sleeping at night, but you're being forced to be awake in the time of night. Then in the adult world, you actually may need that money to actually protect you from a future health risk or something like that. So I said, the thing about theory and practice is that the theoretical a theoretical way of actually trying to keep healthy in the real world, real situations when you become an adult, it really gets twisted because there's a lot of random stuff that comes in the way that force you to compromise your way. So what, as I said, what I always mention, always in a 9 to 5 episode is that you have to actively find a way to find your way to actually make good lifestyle choices in the 9 to 5 lifestyle, because the 9 to 5 lifestyle is not a healthy lifestyle. It's not something that, if you listen to it, it's really about lifestyle, and the thing about it is that you're not being paid enough for the lifestyle that you're that you're being subjected to. And night shift is one of those other things as well. So I think is I realize in the business of science, as is science is basically research and stuff, and what happens that part of science will be for us to actually make sure that you know the people are humans are where we do the research to live quality life. So while in the business we may incorporate, for example, in the initial part or big phase, night shift or such like that. They will actually, in one thing I should actually be doing active research in how to actually eh, um effectively maybe negate that in the future, or if it can be negated where you can basically have effective, because one of the things is that what can be happening is that instead of night shift, if you have basically business at different part of location, because as I said, all around the world have different time zone. If you have business at different location, then what happens is that you basically a certain part of the business will just open part of the day, and you just hire the people that are employed that works in the day will just go there in the day. So what will happen is that the business will be like, okay, you you would open, say, okay, half of the world when it's summertime they experience in the day, and half of the world when like summertime they experience in the night or stuff like that. Our time zone. So that would be like, okay, when it's this time around, the night person when it's night shift, it will be the day, the one that has the has the daylight in the night without actually go to work or such like that. You have things like that. You have things like that. But that's it. Then what is it? You see, it's a theory at this point for me. It's a theory. In For me to actually make that active changes, I would have to actually have an actual business. I'm just in the employee phase now, so I can't. I'm not the boss or anything like that, so I can't make change like that. What I can do is just do my personal side of it to actually make sure that I this night shift does not really affect me. So keep my quality um of body healthy as possible. But then what is that you will be put in a position where you have to do night shift. And as I mentioned before in one of the previous episodes, is that the reason why I'm able to actually do the night shift now is due to the situation that I'm in now, being a homeowner, being at my own place. In your position, you may not be in the ability to actually do a night shift. So what I don't want to do is just compromise yourself to actually go force yourself to do a night shift, and then in the long run it's that was a net negative. You lose sleep, you lose money and everything, because it was a negative because you weren't ready for the night shift work. It's a very night shift is a really committed work, and you have to be committed and be in a position to actually put in the work. When I was at my not at my own place, I was not ready for that type of lifestyle, but now I was able to push through. I was not ready for it, but I pushed through, and as I'm going through, I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah, but as far as I go, still not recommend the the night shift lifestyle. It's really a bad lifestyle, but it's the current reality now. You have to actually just work with what you have, the current reality, and when you learn the best position to actually do a better way, then you actually do it. But for now, I have no answer. That's basically for this episode, and thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Mhm. Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching,
and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
My update 2023. I know what's happening is that basically. Me to another end of the month, and I'm still employed and whatnot. And what I realize is um, I got to go to the gym now. I'm able to go to the gym, and it's still a lot of work, just like when I was doing it, the workout at home. But now it's more kind of different in the sense that I can basically what I did not what I'm doing now is more treadmill walks and such like that. So that is burning a good amount of cardio. What I do is 60 minutes. Try to do 60 minutes of those walking. And now the gym have internet and stuff like that. So basically, I can just enjoy myself, listen to music or listen to something else while I'm just basically working out. So that's basically something that I really take love. It's still hard work. The music doesn't really take away from the 60 minutes as yet, but I'm